The best thing for me is developing relationships. I often say that, I'm not necessarily in the medical field. I say I'm in the relationship business. It's developing relationships with our coaches, specifically with our athletes. But you have to be able to have those relationships with your physicians, with all your specialists. So for me, it's developing sometimes very long-lasting relationships with individuals that you can have an impact on. I have been certified for 15 years, so this is my 15th baseball season. And before that, obviously, I was just a student athletic trainer, so just about 16, 17 years. I've had athletes before where you help them get through something, then they end up becoming very successful, whether they win an award or get drafted. But for me, it's when I can have a parent come up to me or someone that maybe I didn't even meet or talk to and say, you did so much for my son, or you did so much that we can't ever thank you, or maybe you didn't even realize how much you did for him, but he talks about you a lot. So I don't know if there's specifically one, but I'd say that's probably the most rewarding, is when somebody that maybe I never have met or didn't think I had that much of an impact on can tell me how meaningful it was to work with them. I really think our role is behind the scenes. I think that I think when you get into athletic training to help people and to be successful, but not get all the attention. So I think that's kind of what our role has always been, because we are behind the scenes and don't want the attention. That should be put on the athletes who are playing, the coaches that are doing their job to be successful, and we're kind of the secret workers behind the scenes that are just trying to help without getting much of the recognition. The biggest challenge really is managing time and making time for everything else, making time for treatments and all of my work duties, as well as stuff outside of work. And besides having a family and having a life outside of work, I say the biggest challenge really is trying to manage it all together with the demands of the job. I would tell someone now to anticipate a lot of hours. That's a big thing. To have a lot of patience, and to really consider all of those things before getting involved in it. I don't know if a lot of students understand that going into it, the time that it takes and the hours between practices and games and travel and everything that goes into it. I think a lot of people end up getting burnt out on it. So I would, if I was somebody who's getting into it, I would tell them to shadow or talk with another athletic trainer to get a better idea of what really goes into it. I always was very involved in athletics, and I always liked being around athletes. I was never a great athlete myself growing up, but I always enjoyed it. So for me, it was a great way for me to stay involved in athletics, and also help people be able to be involved in a positive way to help them succeed and help the athletes compete every day.